CNN is reporting that, very tragically, somebody named Valeria Marquez was actually killed by somebody with a gun when she was live streaming. She was addressing her followers in the live stream from her beauty salon in Mexico when someone arrived at her door to deliver a small parcel, and that person actually ended up shooting and killing her while she was live. Moments later, she was dead, slumped over in her chair with blood pooling on the desk in front of her, even as the live stream continues, is what CNN reports. The footage ended only when another person picked up her phone, their face momentarily showing for viewers, and of course turned it off. Now, here's why. So obviously this is horrible and tragic, and I'm so sorry that this happened to this poor young lady. She seemed like she had a lot of fans and a lot of loved ones, and she was doing her thing and being young. She was only 23, and that's really horrible and sad. And I'm sorry to her loved ones and the folks that she left behind. But why am I bringing this up? Well, because for two reasons. Number one, TikTok, they have a ban on firearms when you're live streaming. So I don't know how this happened. I mean, YouTube, TikTok, all these social media platforms bravely stood up and said, hey, we're no longer going to, we're going to prevent gun violence, quote unquote, by banning live streams with guns. But then this happens. How? I mean, I thought this was a solution. I mean, we've been kicked off the air. This is by YouTube, but we've been kicked off the air for having a live broadcast where a gun was involved. So I don't understand why this solution didn't work. The other part of this is this happened in Mexico. Well, Mexico is extremely heavily regulated when it comes to firearms. Extremely heavy, way more than California. But yet somebody was able to get a gun and shoot somebody while they were live streaming. It's almost as if these ridiculous laws and policies by companies, it's almost like they don't even work, Dakota.
It is. It is almost like that.
But I just thought that was ridiculous. I think the whole thing is completely ridiculous. It's sad and tragic, and I certainly don't mean to belittle what happened, but what I am belittling and what I am marginalizing is these stupid laws that left her defenseless, and these stupid feel-good policies by these, tech industry that don't do anything.
Yeah, that's kind of the point I wanted to make here, too, is that the Mexican government has made it so that she had no chance to defend herself. Right. And I just looked up some quick stats about violence in Mexico and firearm related crimes. But there's a website that is saying that 6 women are murdered with firearms every day in Mexico.
Wow.
So every day, that's 365 days a year, 6 people, right? We're talking about a couple thousand women being murdered by a firearm in Mexico every year. And for whatever reason, the government still doesn't think that allowing citizens to have self-defense rights is important. But I think, those 2,000 women who are being killed every year, they're important. They matter. Their lives matter. But they don't have a choice. They have these people, these gangs, these cartels that are completely running rampant in Mexico, committing so much violent crime, and normal law-abiding citizens in Mexico can't even protect their own bodies and their own families. So it's tragic, and I think there's a lot of people in the U.S. who want us to go more of the way of Mexico, stricter gun laws, concealed carry, all these things that people here are advocating for. But we see how poorly it's working in Mexico. So why are we thinking maybe if we adopt stricter gun laws, the U.S. will be a better place? Like, I don't see that happening. I think we'd see a lot more murder and a lot more gun violence being, brought against regular law-abiding citizens.
And deeper in the story, she did actually have concerns for her safety. This person had, I don't know if they were officially stalking her, but apparently she was already worried and told people that she was worried. I'll bet you that if she were able to defend herself with a firearm legally, that's something that she'd certainly in hindsight would want to have done.
Yeah,
so.
And I think the same week there was a mayoral candidate in Mexico that got gunned down at one of her press conferences or something, or at a campaign rally or something like that. So it's like this is happening all the time in Mexico. We don't hear about it all the time, but it's happening all the time. There's tens of thousands of murders every year committed with firearms in Mexico. So.
Yeah.
those gun laws are really working well for them.
Well, again, I'm so sorry that this happened to her, and it's a shame, and it didn't have to, and it's preventable. Again, get a gun, get training, get a permit, carry everywhere. Carry everywhere you possibly can. Do you want to show just a quick snippet of her just as a video?
A TikTok live stream ended in terror when a 23-year-old beauty influencer was shot dead on camera at her salon in western Mexico. Valeria Marquez had thousands of followers on social media, where just moments before her death, she showed off a stuffed animal that was delivered to her. Then, in her final few seconds, she is seen looking into the distance right before she is shot dead. Jalisco state authorities said a man entered her salon and fired at her.
Yep, so there you go. Looks like a very promising and beautiful life. Cut short, I would say at least in part due to public policy, and that's a shame. So, hey everybody, thanks for watching. I'm Michael from Gun Owners Radio. If you liked what you saw, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and make a comment. Help us out. Go to gunownersradio.com. Thanks for watching.